China remains firmly in the dock. How does it respond? By relying on the old saying, offense is the best form of defense. That is China's strategy, clearly. It is offensive in diplomacy, in business, on borders, and on the high seas. The more serious the charges, the more offensive China becomes. Here is what it is trying to do right now. Pin the blame on the US. In fact, China has been at it for a while now, pushing a conspiracy theory that the virus originated in America, not in Wuhan. It's a disinformation campaign aimed at shifting the blame and the narrative. This campaign was crafted by this man, Zhao Lijian, the spokesperson of Chinese Foreign Ministry. On the 12th of March 2020, Zhao posted this. It may be the US Army who brought the epidemic to Wuhan, he said. Soon, Chinese mouthpiece, the Global Times, was roped in to spread the virus of fake news. 15th of March 2020, this article was published. US urged to explain military lab shutdown. 23rd of April 2020, another headline, scientists unable to judge if US lab is virus source due to lack of government response. 26th of April, the same year, was the US military victim or spreader of the virus? 14th of May 2020, China, Russia can initiate probe of US biolabs. Do you see where this is going? A concerted effort to show America as the source of the virus. Alas, China found no takers. What it got instead was a probe team knocking on its doors. In January 2021, after much back and forth, China finally allowed a WHO probe team to enter Wuhan. On ground, China hid data. On social media, China revived its fake news campaign. A hashtag was floated on Chinese micro-blogging platform Weibo. The target was a US lab at Fort Detrick. The demand was very clear: investigate the American lab for the origin of the virus. In January, Hua Chunying, a spokesperson for the Chinese Foreign Ministry, said, and I'm quoting again, I'd like to stress that if the United States truly respects facts, it should open the biological lab at Fort Detrick, give more transparency to issues like its 200-plus overseas biolabs, invite WHO experts to conduct origin tracing in the United States, and respond to the concerns from the international community with real actions. Goes without saying that the international concern she was referring to is a figment of her imagination. China is finger-pointing without any evidence. Most experts agree that the virus originated in Wuhan in China. My question is, why did the World Health Organization not pull up China for spreading misinformation in times of a crisis? Why was it silent? Was a delayed response to the health crisis not damage enough? Why did the WHO chief, Dr. Tedros, add to it by not putting an end to China's blame game? Here is what it has come down to now. 1 year into the pandemic, the world is still looking for the source of the Wuhan virus. And after having interfered with a probe, China is unapologetically still pointing fingers at others. Let me once again read out what Hua Chunying, the same foreign ministry spokesperson, recently said. There is still a big question mark over the lab at Fort Detrick. We have also given media access to foreign journalists. But can the US side do the same and invite international experts and media for a visit in an open and above-board manner? This is coming from China. Well, here's the bitter truth. China will never give the world access to the source of the virus. And the blame for this lies equally with the WHO. It failed to put China in the same sentence as the Wuhan virus. And this failure has not only strengthened China further, it has made it more offensive. Here's what China is doing now, punishing international brands and unleashing terror on international waters. Brands like Nike, H&M, Adidas, Burberry, Calvin Klein, they're all being boycotted in China. They are being deleted from Chinese shopping apps. Do you know why? Because unlike the WHO, some of these brands dared to take a stand. They spoke about forced labor in Xinjiang in China, a region that produces 20% of the world's cotton. It is also home to the Uyghur concentration camps. China has forced at least 570,000 people in its forced labor program. This is according to the Center for Global Policy. Brands like H&M said it would no longer use cotton from Xinjiang. So China is arm twisting them, forcing them to reject reports of Uyghur genocide. H&M stores have been removed from maps. Huawei has removed Nike and Adidas from its app store. At least 6 H&M stores have been closed by the franchisee owners. Chinese e-commerce stores like Alibaba and Taobao have taken H&M, Nike and Adidas merchandise off their platforms. Chinese brand ambassadors have dumped these brands. The pressure is working. International brand Hugo Boss has already given in. The German luxury house took to Weibo to tell Chinese consumers that it will continue to buy cotton from Xinjiang. And this is the result of Chinese terror. Then we come to the high seas. Look at what Chinese maritime mafia is doing in South China Sea. Beijing has moored more than 200 vessels at the Whitsun Reef. The reef is claimed by China, the Philippines and Vietnam. Now, Chinese vessels have reached within Manila's 200-mile exclusive economic zone. Manila claims that these vehicles are being manned by Chinese maritime militia. There is a standoff on the seas. Vietnam is patrolling its coast guard. The Philippines has deployed its air force. China, meanwhile, is grabbing land at the Subi Reef too. It is being called a quote-unquote prelude to occupation. Satellite images suggest that China may be trying to build a tower in the contested reef. And this too, by the way, is Filipino territory. The moral of the story is this: terror, when left unchecked, only spreads further. It is important to call out China on the pandemic and make China pay, unless you want China to be more emboldened and more offensive. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.